Hey guys, I guess we're all set, right? You know the deal. I'm just gonna sit here, looking at charts, and then I will answer your questions. Yeah. So use the chat option. I can see people are joining now, so that's good.
It's gonna change this one here a little bit like that.
Cool. It's funny, you're looking at GoVX, oh, 10%, okay, cool. And then it's like, okay, maybe it's nothing. Hopefully the sound is not too high, let me know. Maybe it's too high, let me know, I don't know. How are you doing? Very interesting potential breakout here soon. Is Prof physical? Yeah, turn it down? Sure, my bad. Stack, I'll give you, I think one good bet is WRM on the Canadian. I think that's good. Yeah, that's an okay one. There are more, but I can't disclose them all. But I think that's a good one. Yeah, WRN. My bad. Yeah, I'll give you that. I'll give that one. That's good. It's fine. I think that's good. That's a good one. I actually bought 2 stocks last week. One today and then one last week. Yeah. So there has been a few good setups. The last 2 I've bought were juniors, very small stuff. So interesting here, right? I guess. Yes, Silje will do well. It will. Yeah, it's you're getting exposed to the juniors, and you don't have to pick and choose, and you will do well. You will do really well. Right, trying to break these 2 highs here. Break. It looks good. Long-term perspective, I don't have much to complain about. So. Oh, Jesus Christ. Don't do that. Encore Energy. Oh, yeah. How are you doing? We did a long call some time ago. Right here. It's getting smacked a little bit. We might change. It's very all over the place. This one here, it had a huge smackdown here. I think it was some news with regarding to the CEO leaving or something like that. But it's coming to a point where you might be able to pick it up at some point in time. But right now it's struggling a little bit. But long since 2.9 here, and yeah, just drifting right now. I agree. It's a bit of a funky one, to be honest. So right now that's nothing for you if you want to go long. It needs to hold here. Right. Santa Cruz, yeah, we could take a look at Santa Cruz. That's fine. Santa Cruz has done well. What a call! It's really good. Very pleased with that long entry. I just did an entire silver and gold update, by the way. It took me like almost an hour to do, going through 50 charts. So it's up on the Substack, so that is one to watch. And we will do Santa Cruz, but yeah, we basically went long. Was it here? Was it here? I can't remember, but either way, we're basically up a 400%, closing in on the all-time high. Then we will probably pause / pull back. Probably we won't. Nothing is certain, but you typically see the tag and or overshooting, and then you start to go sideways, consolidate for quite a while. Our target remains 7.5 with potential overshooting. So I think I bought it there actually. Now I think about it. Yeah, 44. Yeah, 44. So we're up 400%. That's amazing. We just need 10 of these per year and you're good to go. But they don't come around that often, so. And the good thing is, do you want to see the risk reward on this one here? Long, here, risk, just below that low there. The recent swing before we broke out. And then again, we target, you're getting 63 to 1 on that one. 63. But I am expecting something here, right? Whatever happens here. So yeah, time frames can be difficult. It depends on if we get a pause here, how much time will it spend there. But yeah, we will probably know once we hit here and see what happens, how fast it can go to there. But I rarely do time, say it's going to go to here in April 2026. I don't know. It could. That is not, again, we don't really know the time frame. We have a good grasp of how fast we go there, of course. Hecla looks amazing. Yeah, big buy signals a few weeks ago. BRC also, I just did that one today. Also fine. So most of the silver stocks is looking fine, right? Silver here, as mentioned on Twitter, that we're actually in that period of or that zone just north of 40 where we haven't, there's not a whole lot of volume trading here, and momentum is probably one of the biggest ones here. Look at this here, 5-year momentum. We are so close to breaking out, and we could skyrocket to 50 and beyond if that amount of energy getting broken out here. Yeah, we're gonna see 50, 60, 70 on silver potentially. Big calls, I know, but that is what I'm seeing here. Big calls, yeah. But look at it here, right? There's not a whole lot of volume up here, right? All the volume is down here, right? And then, of course, further down. But up here, just north of 40, we haven't been trading here for many weeks, looking back 50 years, so... Yeah, this is basically a homemade momentum indicator. It's not sexy, you know. Technically, there's not a whole lot of, you know, it's not fancy by any means. But sometimes you get some good momentum measures against the average, moving averages that you have. So I use it as an extra filter. And this to me just shows that, hey, we're breaking this upsloping here on gold, excuse me, silver to the upside. But also we're potentially breaking away from the 200 daily moving average here. So it's yeah, simple stuff, but sometimes it's very handy. So no, you can't use RSI like this. So. Well, you can, of course, but I think, and I've also stated that RSI can be really good, but you have to find the correct time frame on each and every stock in order to use it correctly. So, which is a whole nother story, right? So, but a whole nother video. Rick, is it this one here? Transocean or? Let me know. Hey, Scott. It's just a fancy way of showing distance to the, in this case, the 200-day, but I can change it depending on the time frames, on what I want to see. Oh, this one here, yeah, Rick. Okay. Quite simply, I want to see that level getting broken. 3.2, and there's something going on here that can be used, right? Downtrend breakage, getting above that resistance line. So 3.4, my bad, 3.4 is the point of interest on this chart here. So, but again, it has been underperforming heavily, and you might just want to wait for the overall 20-year downtrend to break. But anything north of that 3.4, and things start to look decent, yeah. First Majestic, Zach, I think looks great, absolutely fantastic. It to me it says, hey, I'm gonna go to all-time highs, which is like 100% away from here, or 150 or so. I like that stock, even though it has been lagging quite a bit. You know, it hasn't been doing a whole, yeah. I don't know why they hate it. It's a company, right? Contract drilling, dividends, no. But yeah, to me, again, it's clear that I want to see that 3.4 broken until I'm bit of a back test here though internally, right? Don't you have that? Yeah, 3.4, anything below that I'm not interested. So yeah, First Majestic I think looks great. I just covered that for the Substack members. I think it looks good. NBR, that is potash, right? Isn't it? No? Contract drilling. Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember. There is, on log scale, you want to have straight lines and find parallels and straight lines that is aligning up. And here you have curvature, which you don't really want. So I can't do a whole lot. It just doesn't fit, you know, my way of, you know, looking at it. If you can get it, and I say if, I don't think you will, but if you can get it close to 10, that's probably where you want to buy it now. But we're so far away that, and that is the COVID low, so you might not get it. There is, though, some sort of trend line here that is worth noting. 10 years roughly with a huge puke there, 2020. That's the one you want to break, right? That's the one. But it's difficult for me to do anything with this chart. I don't have much to go by, so, or at least from the way that the chart is set up, I don't have much to really, yeah. As mentioned, sometimes it's very, very clear, and sometimes it's just a mess. It depends on how you basically do the technical analysis, right? So some people might say, hey, this is fantastic. Maybe, but not for me. Yeah, I know it's yeah. The NPK is do they pay dividend though? Nah, they don't. So it's a difficult one for me, and I don't really have anything. But the first step is to break that downtrend, at least for now. Tudor gold. Let's see. It popped big time. Yeah, today as well, right? A ton of volume coming in. Holy bananas. Big entry down here, 0.5, up 100%, breaking 4-year bull flag here. Not perfect, but yeah. We have come a long way, though, in a very short time. But looking at it long term, it seems like we're going to break this flag and go higher. So, but the snipe was internally here, roughly 55 cents. As you can see, I draw, this is some old stuff here, 55-ish. So yeah, if you're long, by all means, do not change that fact. Don't change that fact. Did we get the target there on Tudor Gold back in the day? Nah, we didn't, did we? Oh, that's incredible. Look at that. Hello, Value Consultant. How are you? And thank you for, the talk we had last week, no? Or the week before? I can't remember. Time goes so fast. It was last week, right? Maybe it was now. Maybe it was last week. It was, yeah. I'm getting old. I'm sorry. I'm getting old. Good volume coming in here as well, you know. Yeah, that was last week, you know. Oh, no, that was 2 weeks ago, the big breakout on gold. So, PLG. Again, if the music is too loud, let me know. It's difficult for me to adjust it correctly in OBS. So, platinum group metals, I think there is. It's a bit of a messed up chart, really, the past 8 years, but anything north of $1.9, $2 on the New York Stock Exchange, and we could do a double easily. So easily a double, easily. I am 39, Ron, 39. So yeah. Oh, he has Eric Sprott. Yeah, Tudor looks good. Again, maybe short term it has run a little bit too much, but these stocks, once they go, sometimes they don't care. They just boom. So this one here was nasty. Look at that. Breakdown back test. Yeah, insane. But yeah, I could see this one go to $6-7 here if we break, let's call it 2. Oh, that's one way to play it, so. CLF, let me check. I don't know this one, I'm quite sure. Okay, this one goes back, basically, try. I want to see how this fits here. That one I like. That's pretty good. Bit of a fakey here. That was Trump tariffs. Okay, that's cool. It's always nice when you have a head and shoulders, and the right shoulder you break the 30 weekly. That's always good. Well, often it's good. Nothing is always, but often that's good. Right. So I think we also have some channel break as well, right? Yeah, we do. Yeah, look at that. Textbook stuff. I like that. That would have been an entry at 9, but now we're challenging what I could see as a head and shoulder. Anything north of 12, and we'll most likely start to go higher, and the target could be, if you want to play that, so something like this, 25. I think we also have a larger channel here we could add into the mix. I think the excuse here is Trump tariffs, so we might have underperformed there. So, yeah, anything north of like 12, and I'm not too mad about this stock here. That's yeah. UUUUF Vanguard Mining Corp. Okay. I assume this is a 6 million. We're gonna go to Heiken-Ashi, otherwise we can't see anything. Right. I know this is a small stock and you have to be careful, you know, because small stocks are weird. However, if you want an entry, keep it very small, but I would do it here. Keep it insanely small, otherwise you're gonna, again, it depends on what you want to do, but I think this is probably your entry for this stock here. And if it goes to zero, it goes to zero. So keep it small, but this is the turning point, I think. Yeah, that's not too bad. If you want to play with the stop, I would put it at 0.09, but that is 50% away from here. So in these stocks here, you don't play with the stop. You just try to get a good entry, which I think we are now, right? And then you hope for the best. You hope for the best, yeah. Again, it's 6 million, so they can dilute. If one guy wants to sell a big portion, it could drop 30%. You know, that's a whole lot of negatives, but also you have a lot of, you know, we have potential 10-bagger, right, easily or something. Yeah, the SID one I haven't checked lately. I think it did some decent false breakdowns, right? This one here? No. Oh, we're not there yet. This one is also one that we're tracking on Substack. We're waiting for this one to break. And ideally making a higher high, but looking at it here, that is good. That is our expectations, and we can snipe an early entry, 1.6 thereabouts. If you want to play that, it's steel. They pay 50% dividend. I think it's okay to mention this one here. It's not a total secret, right? But yeah, that's what we're waiting for. So yeah, we can't buy it in Europe. Maybe you can. No. Or what? A sponsor? Maybe. I haven't checked, to be honest. So this is again, this is a quarter of a century wedge pattern, and we're trying to buy that little pocket here, and then you can just be long for a very long time. That's the default now, of course. Things can change, but for now, that is the plan. So that's the plan. Oh, you're already long, Adrian? Cool. Cool. Of course, if we break this one to the downside, that is going to be painful. So many good questions here. That's good. Let me see here. MLX. I have seen this one before, I think. Right? Oh, that's a lot of weird stuff. $500 million. It's a bit tricky, I guess. It's a bit tricky one here. I'm just going to do the lowest. That makes sense here. That's good. Right, you can see here we have a big breakdown here. And then you can see we are reacting to that level, or that trend line, multiple times. We're also completely forgetting about it, of course, but it has merits. And it's not my favorite, but that doesn't mean you can't go long, of course. And I'll give my 2 cents here. That is, it's not too bad actually. It's not, look at that. That's a very clear potential entry that you're getting here. I will say anything north of 0.75 is probably where you want to, boop, it's going to do that, right? And this initially will be your stop loss, that uptrend. Yeah, I like that one. That's not too bad actually. That's not too bad. That's quite good. Yeah, so above that high there, so 0.75 on in Australia. That's good. That is really good. Should we do frontline? We could do frontline, yeah. That is Fro. Yeah. It's been a while since we have been checking into these shipping stocks. So very interesting to see. We might have to redo everything, right? I think we do, yeah. Let's do a redo. Sometimes you just need a reset. Tin miners, okay. Tin, yeah. Actually, tin, I think I have a, don't I have a ticker for tin, you know? I think I have somewhere. What is it? Maybe not. Cotton, no. Iron ore. Ooh, okay, iron ore. Together with SID, you know, the SID here. Funky chart, but we could be breaking stuff here. Lithium. Very interesting. No. I don't have a... oh, okay, well. I thought I had. Frontline. Remember, we also had that on, again, there was some good stuff happening here. And lately, it's too messy for me. Again, it is overall in a bull market, right, long term. But I can't get an entry right here, right now, I guess. Depending, there might, again, that break above the 30 weekly moving average is good. It is strong, though, and they pay good dividends, 5%. Maybe we have an uptrend here, other channel. No, we don't. Risk reward. What commodity? Again, it depends on time frames. That is a broad question. It depends on time frames. But I do love platinum, though. Again, I do love platinum here. The cheaper you can get it close to 1K, the better, really. If you can get it. Platinum looks good. But again, it's all about time frames, in my view. What did you say? John Fredriksen's company, a Norwegian billionaire. Let me find you here. Scott, where are you? Oh, Frontline. Okay, cool. Yeah, sure. Okay. It looks good though, but I can't find, you know, like a huge entry here. And I like to have what I'm looking for often. Of course, I take different entries and all that, but I really like as mentioned 1,000 times, of course, you know, the 2-year wedge, right? We could do Radisson, which has been on a tear today, but that's not the reason why we're these. Again, the chart itself is a bit messy, but here you had from 2022 to basically 2024, 2 years. This stuff here, again, if you get 10 of these per year, you're set. You don't need more. These are my go-to. And these are the ones I'm trying to find over and over again. And yes, there's more to it, but I love those. These are fantastic. Because you can go long, and you're quickly proven incorrect, and you can hold it for many years. Many years, basically. You don't have to do much. Just let it do what you expect. What time is it? We will do 20 more minutes, then I need to get to bed, so... By the way, check out at least the members, the 50 stock list I just did on gold and silver. There's a lot of things going on there. A lot of things going on there. Well, good question, Zach. What I like is, this might not be a prime example. I'm just thinking of prime examples. Could be. Okay, I got one here. Could be. This is on top of my head, basically. So when you have these triangles here, you can see, and again, there's more to it, but again, in this case here, I'll do my view and why I went long on DRD. Again, we had this massive falling rail / trend line, breakage, 2020, massive rally, huge backtest. Cool. And then we are starting to do this almost like a horizontal wedge. It doesn't have to be horizontal, but it can have a slope to the downside, that's fine. But then basically we start to contract, and then all of a sudden you can see that you're getting contraction, and you can see that the breakout is very close by, right? Again, it takes a lot of, practice and all that, but in this case it was a 5-year wedge, breaking out, backtesting, grinding higher. So that was the reason why we went long on DRD, for instance. And then of course you can see the measured moves, and you can see a lot of funky stuff. But yeah, so if you can find like a wedge, again, there's more to it. If you can find one that is 1 year, 2, 3, 4 years, then these are the good ones to look for. But again, you have to add in more stuff. But that is a broad statement, you can say. So yeah, I call my again, we have a big list of multiple stocks that people has been interested in before, so we have that list. And then when I say, if I see a stock that I'm very interested in, I'm saying I'm gonna buy that one, and often I say that in the chat as well. I say I've bought that stock today, or I have a limit order in, so people can know. But we have a big list, but I don't buy every single one of them. I'm also saying which one I'm very interested in. So yeah. So yeah, that is, again, try to keep it as open as possible. But I'm not giving position sizing, but I'm saying if I'm going in, with a big size, or if it's a small stock like we bought a week ago, maybe 2. I bought 2 weeks ago. I bought like a 5 million market cap company, and that is a very tiny position, right? So but yes, you can go check, Zach. We have bought over the past year or so. Radisson, that's RDS, SUP, good call as well. DRD was a big one. MKO was a big one. AU, the Orion stock. Yeah, these are just some of the stocks that we've been buying. And also we're buying stocks that hasn't breaking out, that were a bit of a fakey, like equity metals. We've bought 2 times tiny position, which didn't break out. So we don't get it correct all the time, of course. That was a bit of a, but again, there will be incorrect calls for sure. Yes, you can, Zach. I just released, a 50 stock video for the Substack. You can find it there. Hello, John Doe. Hello. Value constant. What did you say? I can't remember. And the precious building. Anyway. God aften, Helle. MPCC, that is shipping. I remember, that is shipping. Yeah. Yes. Zach, yes and no, but typically you can see all that stuff in the chart, really. So no, I don't. Again, everything I need is in the chart. So I think they could, again, I'm just very interested in these two here. For some reason they draw my attention. I'm just gonna draw it here on the fly just to check. Sometimes you need a bit more. And then we have some, okay, that's the first humpy bumpy. That one there, and then we do the lower one as well. That was a big one there. Cool. Back test, look at that, pretty, very pretty. Right now there's not a whole lot going on, but there could, something could come up here, over the next year or so. It doesn't look complete to me. Right, I think we're gonna have 4 touches on that one before we're interested. So with regarding to the big stuff, Zach, Ukraine, war, World War III and all that, I basically look at gold, the dollar, and the 10-year US rates. That will give me all I need. And no, gold is not going up because of war. It goes up to inflation, but sometimes you get some really big spikes like we saw on the Ukrainian, the start of that war, right? We saw gold do a bit of a mini blow off, right? And then it consolidated for like a few years. So Hecla, yeah, Hecla popped today, didn't it? It's still looking fantastic though. 12%. Yeah, long call, 7.5 maybe. Now we're at 10. What did they say today? What is that? Take the SAC approach to beat the market, Hecla mining, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. Something came out, but I guess, again, the technicals were there, so, and it has been bullish for like a month. Very bullish. Very, very bullish. Long downtrend break. It's gonna rally. Yeah, HGX, SilverX mining, yeah, looks fantastic as well. But again, are you buying it after a 500% run? Maybe you do, again. But yeah, it looks incredible. Majors, again, the majors has been running for like 18 months, at least within gold. And they're typically, the first movers. They have the metal, then you have the big players, and then it drizzles down to the mid cap, small cap, and all that. So, for instance, AEM, which is no secret, it broke out in 2025, but we had an internal breakdown here in April 2024, and again, I wouldn't buy it here, but it looks fantastic. So. Oh, the German one. Oh, yeah, let's check the German 10-year. Oh, log scale. Talking about suppressing a market, right? Holy bananas. just remember that the era, the past 40 years of lower rates, lower highs and lower lows, is over. You might get one final, low here, but after that it's, higher highs and higher lows. We don't know the exact route, but and that's why you hold gold, basically. Yeah. Do we break down here? Maybe. Or do we break out? Also maybe. You should just watch this here. Everything in between doesn't matter, in my view. You might get a few hints, but overall that is your wedge of worry, you can say. Look at that. That looks very bullish though. So 80% of the times we will probably break out here. Probably. If we start to break down from here, we have the first target, triangle low, 1.75. But we will most likely overshoot. But it won't last long. It won't be this very long doldrum unless central banks and governments step in and, suppress. But then gold would just take off like a madman even more. So, but yeah. But that is scary, isn't it? And most people are not aware what happened here. Most people are not aware. It's just, it's sad. But yeah. No, I don't think it will be, again, unless we get something really funky coming out and potential, governments, whatever, again, suppressing it even more. But no, that is, if that happens, things are looking really bad. But no, I don't think so. We might go to triangle low and overshoot a little bit. Maybe we form a flag instead, right? Like that, maybe. So you could get some underperformance here, but no, I don't think so. I agree. Scuffed. I completely agree with no. Yeah, I agree, Adrian. Yeah, I agree. But remember, just going back, in history, until I started to really get interested in technical analysis, and then started to learning about gold, all that funky stuff. Somewhere around 2020, funny enough, right? So again, I've only been learning this stuff here for 5 years, and before that, I watched mainstream media, news, and all that, and believed everything that was said. We were the good guys, and all that good stuff. And now I know it's not there. There's always three sides to the coin, right? One side, the other side, and the truth. And I get my own information purely by charts, basically. So yeah, purely by charts. Yeah, patience. That is actually, yeah, that's the most important thing. Patience. And if you have a plan or a setup and you have to wait like a year, when you get the trigger, again, you buy it. Again, you identify where to get in and you wait. If it happens, cool. If not, it doesn't happen and you're not going to go long. So, and yes, I do buy, again, yesterday and today I bought a stock, just before the breakout. So we are all humans. But yeah, but that's the anticipation of the breakout. I'm anticipating it. So, but yeah, so SAC, do you mean for gold? The move that we saw in. I mean, we could do silver. Yeah, silver. I want to show you something here that I find even more interesting. This to me is not my prime look. Again, $50 on silver, yes, it's a big level, but I don't think it will mean that much, to be honest, and I will show you why. Here we have, what do we have here? We have silver divided by inflation. This to me is way more important. And also, if you go and look, before we dive in here, let's do gold. Where are you? Gold, there you are, divided by silver, divided by inflation. So this here, that was the breakout in April 2024, right around here. And you could see gold breaking out against inflation, and basically we haven't been looking back. And this triggered a move from 7 to 50, which again we are far away from, where gold will outperform inflation during that period. So, and we were not even at all-time highs. Well, we were breaking all-time highs at that point in time. But this one here, to me, is way more important. Gold outperforming inflation. And now back to silver, right? Because you can see here, this one to me is way more important when it comes to silver, right? Boom. When that breaks, it doesn't matter if we do that at, let's say, 45, we break that one, 50 shouldn't be of a big obstacle to me. So yeah, 2016, yep, they did. The silver miners went ballistic. And that was when gold bottomed and silver bottomed. And they had a bit of a short squeeze, bit of a short squeeze here. But this one here is way more important, right? This is the major silver miners. On the quarterly, we could go to the monthly. Huge breakout, 10-year wedge breakout for silver miners. Again, we are so early, in my view. Very early stuff. Breaking a ton of things and uptrend, and yeah, it's... So this will be a lot more long-lasting. Basically what we saw back in the 2000 into 2010, yeah. But again, during a period where gold is the only safe haven. Again, that changed in 2022. Until then you had the dollar and bonds, but now you only have gold, basically. What happened to Argentina today? I don't know what happened, but I know something happened today. Something happened today. Gapping down 10%. Something big has happened today. Whatever that is. Could someone check what happened in Argentina today? Because you don't get such a move without anything. Macroeconomist. It depends, Zach. Do you mean from a fundamental point of view, or just overall macro, no technical analysis? Because I used to listen to many people on YouTube, but now I only listen to a few. When I have the time. People. I've always listened to, well, not so much now, but probably the one that I've listened the most to is the Market Sniper as an overall. He was the one who got me into technical trading, so I like him. He has a really good grasp of what's going on. So I really like him, to be honest. And he knows a lot about the fundamentals, the macro, and is really good at technical analysis. So you're getting a mix. So can be a bit, not extreme, but he has his views for sure about everything, and that's good. So, but I love him. He's really good. Yeah, I like him. I really do. Mr. Francis Hunt. I saw him first time, 2019, 20 maybe, back in the day. And yeah. Serabi Gold. Holy bananas. That's an uptrend, right? Holy, it just keeps blasting. And you rarely, again, this is a good chart actually to show that sometimes you really don't get much consolidation and you just keep ripping higher, trending. So well, there was something going on here, but we're getting to some highs now, but do they matter? I don't really know. I think one way to do this could be to make the uptrend, right? Yep, there it is. That is probably my best guess. Let's make it thick here. Boom, you can see that, and then you have the Heikin-Ashi. So basically, as long as that holds, you're all good. But that's very powerful, and you could also at some point maybe you break down only to recharge and then you go again, right? So, but yeah, it looks it's very strong. Oh yeah, Zach, thank you. Miles or Millet or whatever. Party lost key. Well, yeah, you could see that in the chart. Something was off. Boom. Big technical breakdown. So yeah, you could just see it, and that's why I only go by chart, because I could see something were off, 10% down, gapping down. You know, something must have happened. That's really cool. Yeah, the Serabi gold is difficult, Sam. But again, you have the uptrend that you could go by. But yeah, it's 10 YouTubers. Yeah, I think I watch Francis Hunt. I like to listen to Tavi Costa. I really like as well. Which, by the way, I will talk to next week on the YouTube for the first time. And a few others, you know. Yeah, I'm a bit nervous to talk to him. He has a huge following, so yeah, it's gonna be nice. We have 3 topics that we will go through. So it's the Brazilian ETF, it's silver and gold, and uranium. He will give his take. 30 minutes. Interesting. A bit, you know, nervous, yeah. But by the way, Brazilian here, you're gonna have one of the biggest entries of your life. 32 on the EWC, and this one shouldn't look bad at all. So, boom. Big. This is the macro. Very large macro wedge that we're getting into here, and when this breaks 32-ish, boom, take off. And you're getting paid 5%. You can hold it for 5 years, 7 years, depending on Canada Nickel Company. Canada Nickel Company. Yeah. Small company, yeah, 200 million, okay, cool. This one here might not, depends on how we want to draw this actually. Yeah, there could be something coming. It's more like a wedge, isn't it? There could be something coming here for this one. Again, I don't know exactly how to make the red ones, but so again, I need a bit more time, but yeah. I'm just trying to identify. That's better. That is better. That's how they should be placed. Yeah, that's how they should be placed. So, but yeah, I think you'll get as of now, you know, anything north of 1.2, and there is something going for this one here. Maybe a bit early, maybe not, but 1.2, until then I'm not really, yeah, 1.2, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Let's do one more and then I will leave you for today. And I have set now the level for basically the music. Can you hear it or not? Or is it? Let me know how it is. Because if it's too high, you know, then it might suck for you. If it's too, yeah, anyway. CNC. Oh, I found it, didn't I? Oh, this is CNC. My bad, sorry. Yeah. Very low. Let's try to do it a little bit higher. Then I remember the settings here. Let me know if it gets. And if you can guess the music though, I'm impressed if you can guess what's it from. I'm very impressed if you can. I'm very impressed. Sorry. Adrian, you're so quick. Nice. That's good. Yeah, it is. The music made back in the day, this is what, 30 years ago? You don't get that today in any games. Incredible. And nicely spotted, by the way. Is the music too loud now, or is it fine? Because I set it at minus 23 dB, so. Yeah, Command and Conquer was also great. So I mean, it was also really good. There's so much going on here right now. In the ratio. Yes. I think we have some data coming out tomorrow that could be of importance. Yeah. I love StarCraft and Warcraft 2 also. The music there was just incredible. Let's do NIM, the last one here, just to see if we can. Again, these, when I look at these, I do it on the fly very quickly, so I'm just giving my 2 cents very quickly. Oh, wow, that's a huge break. That one there, boom. That was a goodie. Monthly, very strong. We're consolidating now. Wow, excuse me. Right? Could it be something? Could we get a bull flag or something? If we do, you probably want to buy into that. Yeah, 40 cents was good, really good. Right there. Too bad, that was good. So hopefully it starts to consolidate for September into October. depending on what we get here. Again, this is very premature still, so we don't really know. But is it CPI tomorrow? Could be. Yeah, it could be. I just saw North Star on Twitter writing that tomorrow. It could be CPI, yeah. CPI. Oh, you're true. Yes, it was. Yeah, because typically CPI comes out Thursday, not Tuesday. So you're true. Yeah, correct. Job revision, which has been revised down, I think 90% of the time over the past year, right? Which, by the way, is called stagflation, and silver and gold does really well. More so silver in such a period. But yeah, Scuff, you're correct. It is job revision, North Star. Yeah, Bitcoin is, yeah. Again, I will end with this one here just to show people. Again, I've made 2 trades in my life in Bitcoin. I'm not involved now. I'm not bashing Bitcoin or anything. Again, you can make a lot of money, but it is not gold 2.0. However, if I remember correctly, it's been a while since I've been doing this ratio. Then we do the Nasdaq 100. We set it to pin, and then we do a log scale. So there it is. There is your correlation. Looking back 15 years, right? So, and if we have a drop in the Nasdaq, Bitcoin will follow. If we stalled for 5 years, basically chop, Bitcoin will do the same. If we get something like that, Bitcoin will do that. Or if we keep rising, Bitcoin will go up as well. So Bitcoin is basically 2x leverage to the Nasdaq. Nothing more, nothing less. But you can make a whole lot of money on it. So. But how will it do when we officially get into stagflation? I'm not so sure. Because if you look back to basically the SPX, and the 1970s, we basically went sideways for a long time, and that was during high inflation, and at the end of it all, stagflation. But you can see here, if I can't get the correct tool somehow. This is the 1970s, right? 10 years of nothing. So, could we get the same kind of thing up here? Yeah. And for the Nasdaq as well. So again, big moment coming up here for Bitcoin. But you can see here the trend lines are actually very clear. As long as we're within that, roughly, again, a bit difficult to do, maybe you want to skew it a little bit. But basically, as long as we're in this one here, there's not a whole lot to be worried about. Right, this is done quickly and on the month, weekly, so yeah. But I think you get the idea. But I think one I listened to as well is Michael Oliver, and he said, so let's see if he's correct, that if we get a weekly close below 110, which happened 2 weeks ago, that from his momentum point of view, that was it. We shall see. From momentum, it doesn't mean we can't go higher short term, but long term momentum seems to have been it's no longer there. So momentum wise in this case. Somewhere around here. So yeah, alt season. I don't know. It is, again, this is total crypto market cap minus Bitcoin. So basically what it needs to do. Boom. Basically need to break that triple high, roughly, almost triple high. So, and then we do without Ethereum as well. So it's quite clear we need to break this one here. So as you can see, the next September, October will decide what happens. For now, it looks good, right? That's a bullish setup all day long. So yeah, for sure. Big truth coming up very shortly. But overall, it looks really good. So no, I don't think we wait till next year, because that is, when is next year? That is somewhere around here, right? All the way, that's next year. And if we look at stuff here, we are getting close. We could go into next year. Okay, I might change my view. We could, yeah, we could see early next year, but rarely do you get into the apex completely. I think it's going to decide before. October seems like a good month to do it. So yeah, I mean, the odds favors the upside by far. By far. Right. It does, yeah. I have to go, guys. That is all. I need some sleep. So I will maybe see you tomorrow. These sessions are really cool. So yeah. Thank you, guys. Have a good evening. All that good stuff. Stay safe. Bye, guys.